This, in the meantime, the City of Johannesburg has now rolled out quite a massive operation to clean up its litter-infested streets. Operation Manje Namhlanje is an attempt to do away with waste in the inner city and also inspecting illegally occupied buildings and compliance by small businesses. Well, it's targeting Hillbrow as well as the CBD and Yeoville, and it's a joint operation between the city and Metro Police. But in a better position to explain to us what exactly is happening here is our senior reporter, Silindelo Masikane, who attended the launch and joins us now in Studio Slee. Good to have you, colleague, and good afternoon to you. What exactly is Operation Manje Namhlanje, from what you heard?
So from what we understand, of course, it's something similar to what I think we know in Johannesburg as Operation Ukai Mulao. So it's essentially law enforcement trying to reclaim the streets of Johannesburg, clean them up. But also we know that the Johannesburg CBD in particular has become a haven for criminals as well as criminal activity. So what we saw today was just a snippet of what's going to be rolled out over the next year or over the next couple of months in terms of law enforcement officials streaming out in their numbers, trying to just root out some of the rot within the Johannesburg CBD from the pollution. You know, there's debris everywhere. There's abandoned buildings where we know have become havens for drug sellers, drug users, prostitution as well. So, I mean, there's a lot of these operations that are going to take place. But in particular, what we saw today was the focus being, like you said, on Yeoville, Hillbrow, as well as the MTN taxi rank, where in fact somebody with an unlicensed firearm was apprehended and it was confiscated. Just one of the successes of today's operation. But what we saw were many people being stopped and searched randomly, as well as the K9 unit assisting in terms of searching these abandoned buildings. Let's take a listen to one of the officials from the JMPD just explaining what the operation is and what they hope to achieve with it.
Today we are launching the Operation Manje Namhlanje. We've had a couple of successes actually today. One individual was arrested in possession of an unlicensed firearm here at the MTN taxi rank, and we hopefully will get more successes throughout the day. But throughout the operation, it's focused on cleanliness and safety within the city of Johannesburg. And we know that informal trading is one of the biggest issues, a burning issue, in fact, within the city. But we do encourage freedom for informal traders to engage in informal trading, but they need to do it in the prescribed manner and to follow the bylaws. But throughout the day and throughout his tenure as MMC, we'll be concentrating within the inner city of the city of Johannesburg, places like the CBD, Hillbrow, Yeoville and Berea.
Now, Slee, another issue coming out of the rolling blackouts, and I'm sure you and I have seen this as well, right, is often unemployed or homeless people trying to assist with traffic congestion. What did the JMPD have to say about this?
I mean, it's something that I think we're seeing an increase of. I mean, I'm seeing more and more of them, and I think it's because we're at very high levels of load shedding, and so we've got extended periods where robots are not working, and so at peak times, you know, between maybe 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. in the morning, it almost takes you an hour to 2 hours to get to work simply because the robots along your route do not work. And so we've seen these people just taking it upon themselves to kind of assist. And while it is commendable, it's very dangerous because these are people that are untrained. And if anything could happen, the city wouldn't be liable. For example, an accident. The city wouldn't be liable. They wouldn't be liable. And it would just really cause quite an issue for yourself as a driver or a motorist. But I think it's for people who are stuck in these situations, in this traffic, you kind of just go with the flow because you're just really trying to get to work or you're really just trying to get to your destination. And you do see that it's their way as well of kind of making a living, because I've witnessed many a times, in fact, on our way back with our colleague Tamane from the CBD, Jan Smuts, all the robots on that particular route or this area were not working. We were in load shedding, and somebody had taken it upon themselves to man traffic between that major intersection on Jan Smuts and Bolton, and people are throwing out coins as a way of showing their gratitude. But the JMPD simply saying that unfortunately, they don't have the capacity or the manpower to be able to man every single robot. And they have partnered with some organizations. I think you would have seen some outsurance Poitsman. But they're saying they do see the need perhaps to train these guys and actually get them formalized, make it a formal thing where they can actually make a living out of this. But until then, JMPD officials are pleading with residents to report so that they can be able to remove these people from these intersections. And they're saying that they are trying their best they can to go to those major big ones to try and get traffic moving. And they do know that a lot of the issues are particularly in the north of Johannesburg with people taking it upon themselves to man traffic. Let's take a listen.
With our manpower, we've got various responsibilities within the city when it comes to our crime prevention duties and also enforcing the bylaws of the city. So it makes it a bit difficult for us to have officers at every intersection.
Honestly, that's where I have to leave it for now due to time. But I know that definitely Operation Manje Namhlanje being launched today, a lot of work being done to try and curb a lot that's been happening in the CBD, Yeoville, Hillbrow. But thank you, my colleague, that's eNCA's senior reporter, Silindelo Masikane.